Hey everyone, Armor Gaming here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's going to be a video where I talk about the importance of life runes. Now I know a lot of people think that speed runes are basically the only rune that matters, and a big part of that is true. Speed runes do in a sense dominate the game. If you have speed runes on your monsters, that allows you to go first, specifically on an immobilizer monster, that allows you to immobilize the enemy from attacking, which then allows you to get a huge advantage over them. But I feel like there's this misconception that speed runes are all that matters, and in fact I am a huge advocate of life runes. I really believe that if the enemy is only running speed runes, you can get away with running a speed, a life, and a strength, and that's going to give you an advantage and you're actually going to be able to win. Yes, the enemy is going to go first, yes, you're going to be able to immobilize you, but here's the problems with speed runes. When your opponent has speed runes, they have base life and base power. The only thing that's amplified is their speed. With base power, that means it's going to take them like 4 or 5, 6 or even 7 hits to kill you because you have a life rune on you. And with base life, that's going to be a lot easier for you to actually take them out because you're running one strength rune. So for those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, I recently posted this picture trying to gather intel from people and to see their opinions. As you can see, I have a Darmith with all strength runes. I have Violet, who should be a main deny monster, but instead of running all speed runes on her, I decided to run a life rune, a strength rune, and a speed. And versus the enemy, my rare doesn't matter too much, but I did add a life rune to give her a chance to live. The enemy, on the other hand, they have all speed runes, and not just like simple speed runes. Look at that. Egg Eater has a level 5, a level 9, and a level 4 speed rune. That's super impressive. His attacker, oddly enough, has no strength runes. Tryon has only speed runes himself, a level 6 and 2 5s, and then to make things worse for me, his rare has 2 level 8 team speed runes and a level 3 team speed. All my rare has is 2 level 3 team speeds. So clearly the enemy is going to go first. So I asked a bunch of people who follow me and people in different groups who they think would win this match. And I'm actually going to pose that same question to you guys. Okay, at this moment, I want you guys to stop the video and go ahead and comment below, who do you think is going to win the fight? Is it going to be the enemy or is it going to be me? And more importantly, I want you to tell me why. So if you think I'm going to win, tell me why you think I'm going to win. If you think the enemy is going to win, his name is Anthony, tell me why do you think Anthony is going to win. And if you can, it would be really helpful if you can give me a breakdown of like how the game is going to go. So for example, Egg Eater is going to go first and use this attack. After Egg Eater is going to be his Tryon. After Tryon, it might be your Violet. After Violet, you know, I want to see the breakdown. Like, I want to see how you guys think about the game and how you think games go. So at this point, do pause the video, comment below who you think is going to win and why. So thanks to everyone who commented below. Now, just from the data I was able to gather on Facebook, I was able to see the majority of people, there was a few people that thought I would win, but the majority of people said Anthony was going to win, and their main reason was, you guessed it, speed dominates the game. The enemy has too much speed, speed wins, no matter what, speed wins. Going into this match, I had a pretty good idea that I would win, and that's because of a combination of the monsters I use, the traits they have, and so forth. So here's how I thought the game was going to go. I thought the Egg Eater was going to go and do his AoE possession. That's what I really hoped for. The advantage of Egg Eater using AoE possession is that 1, my Violet is immune to possession, meaning that when it's her turn, she's going to be able to use her AoE possession and at least get Tryon and Eggnog out of the way. Then Eggnog might proceed to doing possession again, hopefully on Tryon, and that would give me a huge advantage. Whenever it was Darmith's turn, he would be possessed, I would be able to use Dragon Berserker, amplify his damage, and when it came around to the enemy Egg Eater again, he'd probably give me Burn and Blind, which would suck, but I wouldn't necessarily be in a bad spot. That's how I hoped the match would go. Now truthfully, this team would be a lot better if my Darmith had a better strength rune and a life rune, because the chances of him dying are a lot less, but thankfully Dragon Berserker would be able to help out a bit. His Tryon can't really deal that much damage on me, and neither can his Egg Eater, neither can his Eggnog. So I really went into this game feeling pretty confident. The cool thing about my rare having a life rune is, I know Egg Eater is going to start off with AoE, or I mean there's a high chance he's going to start off with AoE, so my rare is probably going to live, and Tryon, because of that, will probably end up doing his AoE burn, and again, that might kill my rare, that might not kill my rare. Yes, it's fire against nature, but again, I have a life rune and he has base stats, which I have to emphasize, if you have base power stats, it's really hard for you to kill an enemy monster. So before battling, I figured the worst thing that could happen to me is if instead of AoE possession, Egg Eater was to use AoE blind and burn, because then the chances of my Violet hitting possession would diminish so much, and the chance of me winning would diminish even more. Now if I do end up winning this match, some of you might say that I was lucky, and I think there's a few important things to remember. One is that you're battling against an AI. Technically, we're all really lucky that we're battling an AI that doesn't really know what to do. They don't always choose the best move order. So it's not really fair to say you won because of luck when everyone always goes against the AI. That's part of the assumption that we're operating with when we're playing the game. And some of you might say, well, possession landed and the likelihood of it landing wasn't so great. Again, lots of this game does boil down to luck. It's no different than when you choose a team of like Timeria and Voltic lands all his hits or whatever, like that happens, okay? Or when you go against the Oros and they hit you with he hits you with Global Stomp. That happens. Luck is part of the game. But the purpose of this video is to show the importance of Life Rune and at the same time to not glorify speedruns so much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press play and we're gonna proceed this battle. So as you can see, it kind of lagged there, but my worst fears happened. Egg Eater started off with blind and burn AoE. So that's really bad for me. Next is his Tryon. Let's see what he does. Chick Magnet. He did Chick Magnet, which is a strong AoE skill. So look at that. All my monsters are burned and blind. My rare has really low life, but any Tryon that had a strength rune would have easily been able to kill my rare. So again, that just shows the importance of having a strength rune and not relying solely on speed runes. So we're going to continue this match. It goes down to my Violet. She's losing life because of burning. I have no accuracy, but I'm still going to try my AoE possession skill because that's honestly the best I have. So you can't resist me, darling. Let's see what happens. And boom, as you can see, 2 out of 3 monsters were confused. Egg Eater of course is immune to confusion, so obviously he wasn't going to get confused. He did at least get damage reduction, so that is going to help me out a lot. So let's see what else happens. It goes to my Darmith, and I believe I did Dragon Berserker at this point. There we go. Yeah, I needed to minimize the amount of damage he could receive, so I went with Damage Berserker. It goes back to Egg Eater, and of course he did Snake Chomp. Okay, so that really sucked, and it's actually a bit strange that they are not going after my rare, but he did stun my Darmith, and my Darmith was going to deal some massive damage next turn, so that was actually a smart move on the AI's part. But let's see what else happens. It goes to Tryon. He is of course confused, and he does Chicken Rush, and look at that damage. He completely wiped out Eggnog, so it's a 3 against 2 advantage. So I have this. It goes to me, and I decide to give my monsters life regeneration and stamina regeneration, so that kind of compensates for getting burned. So it goes back to my Violet, and what do you guys think I did with my Violet? So do you think I'm going to possess again? Do you think I'm going to try to blind? Well, the answer is I'm going to try to blind his Egg Eater. That way hopefully he can't hit me with AoE possession, but of course because I'm blind it missed completely, so that didn't help. And then he did Viper Munch, but thankfully he missed. Like I said, this game does include lots of luck, and he finally did his AoE burn. He took out my rare. That happens. But let's see what else happens. Darmith had to skip his turn because he was stunned. It goes back to my Violet, and with Violet I have a very heavy magic attack and You Will Love Me Forever, which has a chance to possess, and look at that, I hit possess again. Yes, it's lucky, but look, okay, he hit me with possession too. So Darmith is possessed, his Tryon is possessed, we're both possessed. He hit himself with Bok Bok Charge, which also stunned him. So that's really cool on my part. Darmith is still confused. He hasn't been able to do anything this whole match, but that's okay. He's staying alive. I believe I just recharge at this point because, yeah, I checked to make sure I was possessed, and I was. Violet's head arm is covering it. So yeah, it goes back to them. They recharge. He's stunned. It goes back to Violet. At this point, let's see what I do. I'm charging stamina. I'm looking at their runes, and this is just to show you guys this difference in speed. Let me actually rewind that. Let me rewind that really quickly. Okay, so Egg Eater has a speed of 5,778 and Tryon has a speed of 5,375. And my Darmith, keep in mind, Darmith has base speed. None of his speed is amplified. 3,465. His base speed is not amplified. And my Violet has 4,144. Now, one comment I do recall saying or reading is that the enemy's monsters are going to be able to attack me twice before I can attack once. My Darmith has base speed. His enemy Egg Eater has a level 9 rune and like a few other really high level runes. I actually have to show you guys the Wikipedia real quick, so let me move over to the Wikipedia. Here we go. This is a runes guide. It's on monsterwiki.com, and I want you to take a look at this. If an enemy monster has 3 level 8 speed runes, they're only going to increase by 31% for each rune, which is a total of 93%. 93% is not enough to make the enemy monster faster than you if you guys started off with the same speed. Now take a look at this, 34%, right? So that means if an enemy monster had 2 level 9 speed runes and a level 8 speed rune, that would be equal to 99%. 99% is not enough for the enemy monster to go twice before you can go once, assuming they started off with the same base speed. So that means the enemy needs at least 3 level 9 runes in order to be able to go twice before you can go once. And that's actually one reason why a lot of my builds don't really give a speed rune to an attacker. Most of us, if we have runes that are like level 8 or below, we really don't need a speed rune on our attacker. It's just, unless the enemy has 3 level 10 or 3 level 9 speed runes, you really don't need one on an attacker. You really don't. You can benefit more from 2 strength and a life, to be honest. I actually like to do 2 strength and team speed because team speed then supports my immobilizer. Now of course you might think, well that's not fair armor because the third monster is going to have team speed runes. And yes, you're completely right, the third monster is going to have team speed runes, but your third monster can also have team speed runes. In the case of war, the common monster, uncommon, rare, you can normally equip 3 team speed runes on your common monster, uncommon, rare, whatever it is. If it's not legendary or epic, it's probably going to have 3 team speed rune, as you saw with the enemy Eggnog. Now, in ideal conditions, those runes would balance out. So for example, if you're like a really top player and you had 3 level 10 team speed runes on your monster, your common monster let's say, your enemy will also have that. So that kind of balances out. So then it goes to individual monsters. I've been playing this game for 2 years and I only have like 1 level 10 speedrun. So that just goes to show you, a lot of players, unless they like pay for gems and pay for runes, they're not gonna have such high level runes. You really don't need to worry about it too much. So going back to my game, as you can see, Darmith has base life, but as you can see up here, he's still going in a regular order. It's Violet, Egg Eater, Tryon, Darmith, Violet. Like, it's not a big deal that he doesn't have any speedruns. So I do Rival Punishment, I'm damaging his Tryon, it goes back to him, Viper Munch, I get poisoned, he has to recharge, it goes to Darmith, I finally can attack, and I believe I do AoE burn on them. Let's see, Fairy Flare I believe. Yeah, because that's enough to kill him and burn Egg Eater. And there we go, it's 2 legendaries against 1. Who do you think is going to win? Were you correct? Now one thing to know is that Egg Eater is going to get 2 attacks in, and that's actually a little interesting. I haven't completely figured that out. Stuff like this happens. The turns get messed up when a monster dies. It has to do something with the way the total speed of the monsters change when a monster dies, so I haven't completely figured that out. If anyone has, make sure to comment below. So I know a lot of players have been asking about why does the monster lineup change when a monster dies. Like, there is I'm sure there is something in the algorithm that explains it, but for now just accept that it can change. And I know it might suck because sometimes your monster that's not a legendary can die, but that's just something that happens. So there we go, I ended off his Egg Eater. I got 2 coins. Obviously keeping my rare life would have been really hard. So as you can see, I was able to win the match. Given the monsters I started off with, how many of you actually thought I was going to win? I imagine the majority of you probably thought the enemy was going to win, and I know that because on Facebook, lots of comments did say the enemy was going to win, Anthony was going to win, specifically because of his speedruns. Like, again, here's a better picture I think. His Eggnog, 2 level 8 speedruns, team speed, a level 3 team speed. His Egg Eater, it was actually a level 9 speedrun, individual speedrun, a level 4 and a level 5. I don't even have a level 9 speedrun. I had 1 speedrun on my Violet. I had 2 level 3 team speed on my rare, and I was still able to beat this guy. Now as you can see, we were only like 25 minutes in and it was already 8-58. Now the truth is, yes, speedruns do matter a lot. However, I think a good counter for them is life, strength, and speed, and then team speed on your common, uncommon, rare. And the reason I felt I had to do this video is because in my team and in a lot of comments and in global chat, I see people worried and devastated about going against monsters that have only speedruns. And I hope that this video highlights that it's not that important if your opponent has speedruns. You can still win. Again, I'm showing you my video. I had Violet with like, what was it, a level 4 or level 5 speedrun, and I was able to take out this team that had a level 9 speedrun, level 8 team speedruns. Like, it's pretty crazy. I think it's crazy. But yeah, I just really hope this video can help people out. Please don't be so devastated when you go against teams that have only speedruns. Yes, it is a little hard, but it's definitely manageable. You can get 2 coins out. You can possibly get 3 coins out. I'm going to be doing another like kind of team war analysis rune video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Please do me the favor of liking this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and please share it with all your Monster Legends friends so they won't be so devastated when they go against teams that have only speedruns. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.